Hi guys, welcome back to Unidentified, the second episode of the podcast. Thank you for the love and the support on the first episode, and I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I enjoy doing these little podcast episodes for you all. Please remember that this is sponsored by TH Management. They're my management, they're pretty decent management, and you can go and head over onto their Instagram page to see more about them and what they do. And for that is all I've got to say. If you are new, obviously you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also do my normal content on a Saturday at 5, and podcast episodes are Sunday at 5-ish. Around then. Probably after, depending. But with that being said, we're going to get on in and over to our second episode, which is with Jack. So, let's go. Jack, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jack. If you don't know me, I'm a TikToker on TikTok. I don't know where else anyone else would probably know me from other than TikTok, but that's what I do, TikTok.
Believe it or not, I also do that too. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? So, a starting point, I did this with my friend Jake, even though our story's not that eventful, but obviously we kind of known each other for a while. I would say a while, it's been like, what, a month? 2 months?
Okay.
A month? Is it a month? Yeah.
I don't know.
We've known each other for a short while, so obviously our story's not interesting, but just in case, I mean, don't know if anyone's really going to care either, but me and Jack basically know each other because I messaged him to come onto my podcast.
And I was like, yes, Queen, I'll be involved, you know.
We've been
Love a good podcast.
And we've been friends ever since, pretty much.
Yes, we have.
To be fair though, you came up on my For You page a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good then. My videos are doing the right thing.
And that's when I was like, oh, you know what? I really want this. I was like, I really want this guy on my podcast. I really like thing. And I remember I was on FaceTime to my friend when I was sending out the messages to people to ask him to come on, and I turned around and said to him, I was like, oh, I really want him to come on, so I hope he says yes. Then like when you messaged yes, I like sat there and started like nearly crying.
Oh, bless you. I literally I replied so late. It was so bad of me. I'm so bad at my Instagram DMs. Like, I always reply to them like about 3 weeks after. When I saw it, I was like, oh, yes, I'm up for that.
So that's how me and Jack became friends, and you've been stopping me ever since, really.
I know. Help me.
Can't get rid of me. Blooming hell. But obviously we're both in the social media world. And yeah. I like to say that on my podcast, it's not really themed as such, hence the name of it, but the two main topics I like to talk about is social media and like mental health-ish things, related things. So I'm going to start this open conversation by saying that I reckon, I've said this before in last week, but I'm going to keep this nice and short and sweet, but even now, we're the 21st of February when we're recording this, by the way, people. TikTok has gone into a whole other toxic direction.
Yeah.
And it's just not a vibe.
It has a toxic side to it, TikTok, unfortunately.
See, I've never seen this toxic side until last year, this year.
I mean, to be fair, I don't normally see a toxic side of TikTok. I'm never involved in it anyway. But if it does, I do come across it, I just tend to ignore it because it's just, if you feed it, it'll just get bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I had recently, it was like 2 weeks ago, I had this account which only followed, believe it or not, me and Jojo Siwa.
Right. That's weird.
Only 2 people it followed. And I woke up and I think my friend saw it first and she messaged me being like, have you seen your recent TikToks? I was like, well, not really. Like, I don't normally get comments, so I don't normally check comments on TikTok because I just don't normally get them. But I normally check like how well it's done and the analytics side, but apart from that, and she like screenshot the comments and I was like, oh, right, lovely, love a bit of hate on my Tuesday morning.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. And it was this one account that literally followed me and Jojo. I had a message, I think one of it was saying me to grow up. This one's gonna make you laugh, Jack. One of it was because I had pink wallpaper.
Oh Christ.
Because I've got pink wallpaper and I'm 17, turning 18.
Oh right, a bit pathetic for them to say something like that, but okay.
I didn't really get that one. I think one of it, Yeah, one of the messages was telling me to go and die.
No.
It literally just says the word die, and I was like, great.
That's really awful.
Then there was like a lot of it though was to do with like the whole weight thing again, and I was like, because I put a TikTok out that was like saying about hating on creators and blah blah blah, and then they turned and was like, to be fair, you're all right if you just lost the weight.
That's so rude.
And I was just like, what?
That's so rude. Oh my god.
But like, you know, when you're sitting there, you're like, you follow me and Jojo Blooming, like me and Jojo are the only two people that you follow.
So fun. That's so rude. Oh my god.
And I just sat there and I was like, what the like? It didn't have like a profile picture either, and it was one of those like user 2-3 whatevers, like one of those user ones, you know, when they're just like the numbers after. But I was just like, what was my life like? You know, just saying like, what's my life come to?
Well, you know you're doing something right if you get a bit of hate, darling.
I mean, that's true. And then I took a break for a bit, not just because of that, because I had other life issues, and then I've only just got back onto it, to be fair. Sometimes you just need to have a break from your phone and social media.
Oh, definitely.
That's been my experience recently. How about yours?
I have quite a positive relationship with TikTok, to be fair. I never really get any hate or anything, which I'm really lucky with, actually.
Yeah.
I never get any hate, and if I do, I don't really see it. But I've always had to have quite a positive relationship with it. No one's really left anything horrible. And if they did, I'll just ignore it. Do you know what I mean? Don't address it. If you address it, you make them. You kind of add to it. You're giving them what they want. They want a reaction. So I would always veer away from it.
Yeah, that's actually that. I would agree with that. That's some good advice there.
Yes.
If you don't react to it, then they can't see how it's affecting you, which means then they don't see enjoyment out of it. Which means that they clearly can't speak English. Then they can't get bored. Or yeah, something like that. Oh, I need to actually fix my sleeping pattern. That's what I need to do. Clearly.
My sleeping pattern is so bad. It's probably been bad since I was about 14.
Honestly, I think mine's been worse over the past 2 years. It's been better, but it's been worse recently. Like some nights I'm not even sleeping, which is really bad. I know, but I don't know what's happened to my sleeping pattern.
It's because we all just don't care, really. We say we want to change it, but we don't do anything to change it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do anyway.
Well, I'm the same actually. I say I'm going to change something, I never do. I'm going to do it. No. So how did you get started on like social media in general, or?
So I actually used to do, before TikTok, I used to do Instagram influencing, and I had an Instagram account of like 20,000 followers on it, and I was using that for a bit, and you get added into these things called engagement group chats on Instagram, where you basically put all your photos into them, and all the influencers on there just comment on your pictures and whatever. And it wasn't tickling my pickle. Everyone was so fake and bitchy, and it just wasn't for me. So at the start of 2020, I deleted my account, started off new, and then March of 2020, I downloaded TikTok and started posting a few videos on there. And one of my videos went viral, and then ever since that, I started posting more and more videos getting viral, more videos started getting up, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start, doing this as a career. And 200,000 followers later, I'm now hoping to be full time in the next couple of months. Because
you also have a job as well, don't you, outside of?
Yeah. I work full time. I'm a nursery teacher as well. So it is a bit of it's hard work. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm having to go to work and come home and film videos all the time, which I love doing, but it does take it out of you. But you've got to put the hard work in to get somewhere,
I agree, because I had I had my YouTube channel since 2016. It's when I uploaded the first video, and then I was also doing like my GCSEs the following year, so then like my videos weren't the greatest either. and I kind of like stopped posting for like a long period of time. And it wasn't until like last year, obviously we had the lockdown and that I started posting on it more, and then I've like actually seen more like growth and like engagement because I'm uploading more, which I don't know why I just didn't do that to begin with.
YouTube is so much work. Like, obviously, I've got my YouTube channel now, and I try and post twice a week, but it's just so much work because I don't think people realise how much time you have to put into editing of them. Like, you could have like a 40-minute footage or an hour's footage, and it could take you about 4 hours to edit it. It's a lot of time.
I was gonna say I'm quite liking the fact of it's not the fact that I have like the, you know, like the Emma Chamberlain approach-ish sort of style. I kind of go for that kind of vibe because that's the kind of vibe of videos I like to watch. But even then, I think one of my videos, I can't remember which one it was, I think that took me like 2 days.
Oh my god, really? In fact, I'm quite quick at editing. Like, I can edit a video in 2 hours. So I'll say 2 minutes.
Because that's quick.
But like some of my friends like Kane and Charlie, they like, I know for a fact Charlie, they can take up to 8 hours to edit his videos. But Charlie's editing is so good, so I can understand why.
Yeah, because I edited, so the first podcast episode, these are not really that edited if I'm being completely honest. The only bits that are edited is the fact if I can't speak or there's bits of the conversation where I'm like, actually I don't want that to be in it on my half sort of thing. And
I bet it's easier to edit a podcast because you don't really need to like chop and change.
No.
Like it's, you want the conversation.
But I normally just check just to make sure like the order and that's all right, and like the intro bits at the beginning and the outro bits at the end and things like that. And Jake's episode originally was an hour and a half long. It took me an hour to edit that, I think. I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't have to do much. But where some of the other ones that have a bit more to it do take longer. It's the one thing I struggle with. I don't have the attention span for it.
No. I have to do it in breaks. I have to have it in breaks.
Me and my friend, I even like sat there and like, because she wants to try and get into her YouTube channel again because she had one like way before me and her were friends, and like she stopped and she was like, oh, I'm gonna start getting into it again. So we started FaceTiming each other whilst editing, so we both like stayed focused. But literally, I was like halfway through and I was like, you know what, I need to have a break. And she's like, what, already? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
You can't. Don't get me wrong, I love doing social media. Like I wouldn't change for the world because it's like I said to Jake before, like the way that I see it's the fact of if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't have some of the opportunities that I've been given, and I wouldn't have majority of the friends that I have because majority of my friends are kind of internet friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's one of the most draining things I've ever done.
Yeah, it is, but it'll pay off. It all pays off in the end.
It all pays off in the end. I've also got some sick content coming out soon, by the way.
Good, I'm excited.
I need to tell you about another video I did, but I'm telling you after the podcast. But I've got some things planned. Whether it actually turns out decent or not is a whole different story. I don't know why I've got asked this question, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you, but because I did like a question thing on my story as well. Someone turned and said, if you had a relationship with someone, would you keep it private or would you publicise about it on your social media, since you both do social media?
I think I would just ask the person that I was with. I was with someone last year, and they wanted to keep their identity private to my social media, which I was completely fine doing. I obviously still spoke about the relationship, but like I kept his identity like unknown.
Yeah.
But really, I would kind of like someone in the same industry, really, to be with.
Yeah. I had, so I've had three boyfriends whilst doing social media, like for 5 years. But my recent one, he was quite a private person, but we kind of met in a pub. We met on a TikTok Love Island, so I mean it was kind of public anyways.
Oh right, I got you.
And on my TikTok, I think I did 3 TikToks about him, but it was all kind of more about the relationship, not about him as a person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got
so
you.
I did like content based on our relationship and how he was at the time. However, it then made it really awkward when we broke up because then people were like, oh, who's so and so? And I was like, we've decided to split ways now, but we're both happy for each other. Blah blah blah. But I think it's down to the person who you date. I think some people are more private about things than others, and some people want it to be public.
Yeah, indeed. I would want someone to be doing social media though, because I feel like it would be better. It would be easier for them to understand. You know what I mean? Like, I've got to, like, my friends have to understand it as well. Like, I have to stay home and film and edit and stuff. That's a big part of my life, is filming and editing. But I think it'd be easier for someone in the same industry to understand that, because they'll be doing it as well, and it would also make it easier to do it with them as well. If you get me?
Yeah, I get you. I think the same, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've only told, so I've got like some friends from college. I mean, there's only 2 of them, but we move. But I only told like my friends from college about my youth channel last week when the first episode came out.
Right. What did they say?
One of them was like, whatever, like, if it's making you happy, then that's fine. And then the other one was like, just be careful. And that was it. Which I don't really know why. Well, I mean, I guess they got a point to it, like, just be careful of not getting hate and stuff, I guess. I don't really know.
I got you. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's what, I don't know. I think that's what they're on about. But the other person was just kind of like, to be fair, they're both quite chilled people, so I knew it wouldn't be that big of a kind of issue.
There'd be no issue with it.
I mean, if they did have an issue with it, then
get rid of them.
Yeah, bye. See you later. Is there anything you want to talk about in particular?
No, I think I've got like some good advice for people who want to like start doing social media. Like, I feel this is what I would have loved to have known when I first started doing social media, especially TikTok, is that I feel like when people first start doing TikTok and they get disheartened very quickly about views and comments and everything like that. And what I want to say is that when you're first starting a TikTok and you post a video, let's say, and it gets 200 views, and then your next video gets 200 views, and then the next video gets 300 views, you're maintaining like the same amount of views, which is what you want, because it connects with the algorithm. So the algorithm is seeing that you're consistently getting these views, so it will push your next video and push your next video. So I feel like when you're first starting TikTok, you need to just look for consistency, not look for growth. Like, just look for consistent things and look for consistent people coming back to you. And you need to also make a community. Like, you need to look for the same people that comment on all your videos all the time. And if you make that community, you're building such a massive thing that will help your account. Because I feel like most people get so caught up in growth, and they don't realise what they've got.
Yeah.
And the followers that they do got and are loyal and come back and comment, you need to put time and energy into those people, because they're the people that are going to build your career, and they're going to be there all the way through, and they're the people that are always going to pick you up when you need to. So I feel like when people first start TikTok, they need to look for consistency and start building a community right from the word go, not from when they hit this, that or the other. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I get, like, I came from a, not a background, but like, because I was on Musical.ly and that, I remember like my first like year of being on Musical.ly, and that was like, I was getting like 5 views, and I knew they were all my friends because they're the only people that followed me at the time. And then I said this before, I was like, it wasn't until like March is when I started getting like 100 views ish, around that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there like being like, I didn't like forget why I was doing it, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this trend because everyone else is doing the trend and it's doing really well. And then I kind of like slowly but surely realised the fact I was kind of just doing the content because it was like a trend, and it wasn't anything that was making like me actually happy whilst I was filming. I was like, oh, I'm doing it because it's a trend, so it's going to get me views, even though like the views don't really matter, like they don't matter. But at the time, because I was on like the roll of getting like 100 views and I wanted to like try and keep it up, but now I started posting stuff that I enjoy making, and
that's really important as well, to make content that you enjoy making. And that's something that my friend Charlie always tells me. He goes, make sure the content that you're making and doing is you're doing it because you like it, because the energy will go into that, the good energy will go into that. And if you're making content that you're not wanting to do, or you're doing it because you want to do it to get views, then you're gonna put the bad energy into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll read that.
Yeah, I agree. Because I look back at like TikToks I made like a year ago, and I look back now, I'm like, Charlotte, why did you do that? Like, why? You didn't have to, but why? Like, you looked so unhappy doing it. So why did you do it?
It reads through your videos.
You can like read it. It's really. It's like you like look back. It's like it's even like some YouTube videos I've done. Like I know the video I put out yesterday. Like it was a very like it was meant to be like a day in my life, but it was like a very dysfunctional day. I wasn't having the greatest day whatsoever, and I was like, oh, I'll just film like a day in my life to try and like get out of my head and stuff. And I like upload it because I like the video. Don't get me wrong, but I know you can just tell that I'm just not in the mood.
Yeah, and that it does, like, well, I do it as well. I'm so guilty of it.
But it's like one of those things where I was like, well, I wanted to get like a video out. And then like sometimes I think I said this to my friends, like, oh, am I putting too much pressure on myself to get a podcast out and a main channel type video, like my main content sort of video on a Saturday and a Sunday?
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things where you just sit there and just like,
I know, it is hard. Time management.
I'm bad at that.
Yeah, me too.
While fancying college as well and trying to get into uni. Not really a vibe. It wasn't really a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Someone asked, right, should be a short and sweet question-ish, I guess. Someone just said, what's your biggest fears?
Rats.
Actually, I can tell. I really don't like heights. Like, I know that's such a generic one, but like, I generally don't like heights.
I feel like rats is quite a generic one as well. I hate rats with a passion. Oh my god, rats are like my biggest fear. I hate them so much.
They don't even like. They're just like. I have right. So basically, my house is a bungalow, right? And for some random reason, up in my ceiling, I hear this random noise.
Oh,
I think I'm going insane because my dad comes in my room, he can't hear it. My mum comes in the room, she can't hear it, but I can hear it. So I'm convinced it's some form of animal.
I would so hate that so much.
But it's really bad.
F that.
Not a vibe. I keep on saying that. Perhaps I should just get merch out. It's not a vibe on it.
You should do it.
I probably should. I should do it at some point. To be fair, that's an idea. I'm trying to look at the questions. Someone said, if you wasn't doing social media as a hobby or a career, what would you be doing?
Doing my full-time job that I've got now.
What would I be? I guess I'd still be doing I still do dance and that, but I probably still would be doing musical theatre and dance.
I mean, I want to go travelling, so I think I definitely will, but I reckon I'll go travelling or go travelling or something like that.
Yeah. But I don't think my life, like, as bad as it sounds, I don't think my life really changed from doing social media as such, because I still do what I do. But obviously it has changed, but it hasn't. So I don't feel like if I wasn't doing social media, I wouldn't be, like, doing something else in replacement of it, because I'll still be doing everything else.
Yeah, I get you.
Do you know what I mean? I don't... That makes sense in my head.
No, it made sense.
Like, I still do dance and that, but I just don't... Obviously, I don't do it as much, but I still do it. So I just put any tips on waking up early. I think, don't ask me. I don't know. I don't wake up early.
I am not the person to ask, Janet. Absolutely not.
I don't really know where... I mean... I guess I did ask for questions.
1,000 alarms.
Yeah, alarms. Just said... Right, me and my mum's cousin were having this argument the other day, right? Because I said about how if I set an alarm, I have to do it for, like, every 5 minutes.
Oh, my alarm's literally, like, every 3. Like, I've got so many.
And he said that's really bad and apparently it's really wrong and not right. But I swear down the majority of people do it in this day and age.
Ow. And my dog just bit me. Stop it. She wants to fight.
Your dog's not your friend today.
She's just play fighting, bless her. Stop it. You've got sharp teeth, you know.
Oh, this is a nice one, actually. What was your first impression of each other?
I thought that you were really kind and sweet. I thought you were really lovely, actually. You're really easy to talk to. You're really easy to open up to. Really friendly. I'd say friendly overall.
You can just see the tears in my eyes just forming. What do you think of Jack? Actually, I remember having this discussion with my friend, actually. Like, you're really down to earth, and you're someone that, like, I know for a fact of, even though we're not that close, but if I needed someone to talk to, I could just, like, ring you or text you.
For sure.
And, like, you're, like, the same off of, like, TikTok and that, because, like, I watched your TikToks and that before knowing you. So, like, you're the same on and off. And you're just really, like...
good. I'm so glad that you say that.
But you're right, you're literally the same on and off. And, like, for me, it's, like, a smaller creator.
Yeah.
I guess, kind of thing. I was quite nervous in that about, like, reaching out to people that had a bit more of, like, a following to me in that. Because I thought they'd be like, oh, she's just a smaller creator, like, see you later. And you wasn't like that. You was like, you're so supportive of, like, everything.
You know what annoys me is that, like, TikTok has given so many people massive platforms, and, like, I was in so many people's positions that when they first started, like, I haven't even been on TikTok for years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've managed to make this massive platform on TikTok and my other social media, but, like, that's not going to change me because I was literally the same person, do you know what I mean? I'm literally the same as everyone else. I've just happened to have hundreds of thousands of followers, but it will never change me, and I've got the right people around me to never let that happen as well.
I don't know, I said to my friend, like, I remember that when it was like back on Musical.ly and that, I was friends with people like, you know, TJ, I can't remember his username, I think it's like it's TJ or something like that. He's got like loads of followers now, but like back then he still had like quite a big following compared to me, and me and him were friends, and I was friends with like other people that had like a bigger following than I did. And then because of this whole, like, then it got taken over to TikTok, and then how TikTok's gone now, you don't often see many small creators as such being friends with bigger creators. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare you see that.
It is.
But me and Jack have always got along. I don't see me and Jack ever going to have an argument, to be fair. I'm not even going to lie. We're not argumentative.
I do not see that happening.
No.
Ow!
He might be having an argument with his dog, though.
Oh, I will. I'll be giving her a good backhand. No, I'm joking. I don't hit my dogs.
So I'm just wondering, how do you balance everything? Because you both seem like pretty busy people.
Oh, Christ. I need a bloody hell. I don't. I juggle.
I don't.
Balance. I juggle.
I tried doing a timetable. I tried doing a timetable of, like, okay, I do college... Like, I have online lessons this time. So then I can, like, edit it in the evening or plan this... Well, I say plan this podcast episode, but, like, get questions for this podcast episode this day. Blah, blah, blah. But that happened for a solid week. Then it just goes, and then I don't really know.
What's your star sign?
Aries.
You're an Aries. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm an Aries. What are you?
I'm a Sagittarius.
You're the same as my dad.
Am I?
Yeah, my dad's born in December, yeah. I had to think that through then.
Ooh, I'm a November Sagittarius.
Yeah, my dad's a December Sagittarius.
Yeah. I'm right at the end. Oh, you just did shit.
I'm right at the beginning of April.
Ow! Are you?
Yeah,
yeah, so brother, he's an Aries.
I'm the 3rd of April.
Oh, you're naughty!
I'm 18 this year, blimmin' hell.
You what?
I'm 18. I just clocked on the fact I'm turning 18 this year.
Oh my god! Hopefully the clubs can open, you can get out. Hey!
I blimmin' hope so. I want to be able to have an 18th of some form, please.
Oh, darling, when you turn 18, can you hear my dog? She still acts like a puppy.
Bless her.
To be fair, she is only 2.
Oh, bless her.
Only 2, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah. Don't look at me like that. Naughty, aren't you? You're naughty with your little legs. Your little legs. Sorry.
So I'm looking for the next question, for being honest. Do you both
Say
have...
that again, sorry. You're going to have my dog barking all the way through this podcast.
Do you both have good support systems to keep you going, or do you still get into the creative rut?
When I get into a creative rut?
Yeah, like, do you still, even though you have... do you both have good support systems? And if you do you still get into the creative rut for TikToks and YouTube, etc.?
Oh, I have the most... My friends are the best support system I've got. I've got such a close net... close net of people that I can talk to, and obviously my family. But I still get into creative ruts for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you do. Sometimes you come to a bit of dead ends, and they're the worst things. Honestly, they make your anxiety so bad when I'm in a creative rut. I feel like I'm doing rubbish. Like, I've just been in one really for the last 2 weeks. It's been awful, but today it's finally picking up.
Woo!
But yeah, I do have a good support system for sure. I have my best friend Jake, and he'll put me into check when I need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I want to say within the last year, I've got pretty much the best support system I could ever ask for. Like, I've said this before, but like, I'm not one to have many friends. Like, my circle's quite small in that. But the friends I do have, like, I know for a fact of sometimes, bless Jake, he gets these random messages of me just overthinking everything about my entire existence, and he sits there and kind of keeps me in line and is like, no, Charlotte, you're doing fine, just don't worry about it.
Your entire existence, I love that.
I do. I sit there like I have these random light bulb moments. I'm just like, I have a question. Am I doing this right?
Oh, bless you. Just own your shit. You go, girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Own it and run with it.
I need to start doing that more. I just sit there and, like, you know, you just sit there and you just start, like, questioning yourself.
You need to remind yourself you're a bad bitch.
And then I sit there and go to Jeff, I'm like, why am I questioning myself for? Like, no, it's fine. And he's like, well, I know it's going to be fine, so it's fine. I'm like, yeah, I know, but...
You're a bad bitch, remember that, queen?
I'm trying to think of... What's your favourite Netflix series at the moment? Or what are you watching on Netflix?
Oh, I've just finished watching Firefly Lane.
I haven't watched... Is it good?
It's so good. I love it. It's left on a right cliffhanger, though. I want to watch season 2 right now.
What have I recently watched on Netflix?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch as well, I just watched.
I've never watched that.
Oh, it's so good. Get into it. If you like Riverdale, you'll like that.
Oh, yeah. Because that's... Wait, hasn't that one got... Ross Lynch, is it? That one.
Is he from Austin and Alley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have I watched on Netflix? I mean, the last thing I properly watched on Netflix was The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I love it. I watched that years ago.
I got so obsessed with it, right? I literally finished it before Netflix took it off of Netflix, right? For Christmas, my friend got me got hands somehow on the first 2 seasons on DVD, because she was like, I know you're going to miss it, blah, blah, blah. And then Netflix just put it back on, didn't they?
Yeah, I literally was about to say that. They just put it back on.
I was like, cheers.
My friend can't watch Vampire Diaries without crying, like any episode, even if nothing sad happens. She just says it's something about it makes her cry. I full on cried. I full on cried at the last episode, to the point that my mum came into my room and was like, Charlotte, why are you crying? And I was like, it's the last episode. Do you know what I do at the end of a series? I won't watch the last episode if I know there's not another series.
So you don't...
Is that bad?
Wait, so you don't watch the last episode if it's like the last series?
If I know there's not going to be another series, I won't watch the last episode.
Why?
Because I don't want it to be over. I get proper emotion.
Actually, to be fair, I think my issue is I get emotionally attached to, like, TV series and that.
Yeah,
and then I start using it as, like, my comfort thing. And then when it's over, I'm like, oh, so what am I meant to do now? Because the whole time that was on, that was, like, my, like, part of my personality trait.
I literally like indulge myself into that thing. Like, it's like my escape. Like, I'm like, oh, I'll just go into their world later.
Who inspires you? Because I'm just asking.
Who inspires me? Like, on TikTok?
Yeah, it says TikTok, YouTube, etc.
On TikTok, do you know who GK Barry is?
No.
Okay, you need to go watch her stuff. It's bloody brilliant. GK Barry, she inspires me a lot. I love her content, the way she does it. She's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Eden Halves, she's a good friend of mine. She inspires me a lot. The way she just pursues her goals, it's really nice. And James Charles, I love his business. Like, I love how he runs a business through his social media. Like, and he treats his social media as a business. I feel like I've learned a lot from him. So them three, I'd say, my top.
I'm trying to think. See, I'll definitely say Eden, because I think I've followed her for like nearly a year now, I think. Because she came up on my For You page, and I love her content. Like, I literally sat there, like,
she's so lovely.
Her Eat With Me's and stuff, I literally sat there and I've got like a bunch of my drafts from when I've just like done it and like saved it.
Oh, you should have posted them.
I should have done, actually. Maybe I will, actually.
She would have responded to you, you know. She's so lovely. I love her so much. She's helped me. She's followed me since I was on 10k. I mean, she's been so lovely. She helped me with my merch. She's helped me with loads of other stuff. She was on my 100k video. Like, she's been so nice to me. Like a bit of a big sister.
But yeah, I like her content a lot. To be like, her content, I'm just like, I sit there and like,
she's just got everything.
Bro, like, I wish I could do that.
Come on, man. Sorry, my dog.
I'm trying to think of like a YouTuber. I think in like, he doesn't really post content anymore, but back in the day it was like Luke is not sexy, but like he's changed it. He's changed it to like Luke Cutforth. He's like done. He's in the middle of doing his own film at the moment, and he has like this Discord server where he sits there and like he like generally sits there and like interacts with his like following and that. And like he streams on like Twitch and that, like certain days of the week, and plays like Among Us and that, and he plays it with his fans. And like,
I love that.
It like inspires me, because I would like that type of relationship with my own kind of following, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And another person would be, at the moment I've gone through a really weird, not really weird phase, but I've been watching a bunch of Sidemen again. And Ethan from the Sidemen, I'd say, because...
Oh, yeah, Sidemen. I haven't actually watched any of those videos, but I've heard a lot about them.
Well, I watched them when I was younger, and then I kind of stopped watching them, but not because I didn't like their content, it was just because I was busy doing kind of my own stuff. Yeah. And then I started watching them again, and I think Ethan out of them, personally for me, like, he, like, emotionally we kind of hit on the same level, and some of the stuff that he's been through is, like, been quite bad, but the way he's kind of got himself out of it, and like he's like transformed to like a whole new person, pretty much.
Is he quite open about it then, about what he's been through? That's really good. I like that.
He's been quite open about, like, he done like
especially for a boy, like, that's really good. Like, and we need more of that.
Because he was quite, I'm trying to think, basically he was quite like overweight kind of thing, and he done his whole, like, he done a thing where he like transformed his body, and now he's got like, he goes to the gym a lot, he works out a lot, but he also was in like a dark place, like mentally in that, and he kind of like has now like transformed like his whole life completely different. Like, if you saw like some of his old videos and then saw him now, you'd be like,
would you find him motivational? Like, he can motivate people. Yeah, I love that.
And I think, especially like, because you don't really see many like men be open about kind of like mental health or anything in general. So the fact he's so like open about that, like, it must be like inspiring to like younger boys and like boys in general, because you don't see that very often on social media.
No, Mum! Christ, did you hear that? My dog was eating a Knickers. That's going to be on the bloody podcast now, Mum. You got to keep that in. That was funny.
I'm keeping that in.
It's hurting today. I've been renovating today.
Well, I can't relate. I went to work, and that's about it.
I just bought a summer house.
Ooh.
And I'm putting it in my friend's garden.
Yeah.
And I'm living in my friend's garden. Yeah, I know, iconic, you don't have to say it.
How do you know that's going to come out of my mouth?
So I've literally been digging into soil today to make a base. I've had to go to buy loads of pallets, you know, those crate pallets, buy loads of those. I've been skip diving. I found loads of carpet. I've got loads of carpet now, all for free. I've literally spent altogether about 300 quid, which is so good.
That's
like,
way
that is so
cheap.
good. Yeah.
See, I'm in the process. Well, I'm kind of am, but kind of not. I'm in the process of moving into my brother's old room.
Oh, lush, but is it bigger?
Because it's bigger and it's got a desk, so it's kind of more practical.
Oh, you need a desk, for
yeah,
sure.
It's more practical than my room, because my room doesn't have a desk in it. Like, it's only got my bed and like my wardrobes and that, but it's a bit bigger. But we're doing that before I go to university in September.
Oh, what uni are you going to?
University of Canterbury, Christchurch.
Oh my god, no way. I used to work with a girl who went to Canterbury.
I only applied there. I got rejected from a course though.
Oh well, it's fine. You got into university, you're going to have the best time of your life at uni.
I hope so. I kind of like, I didn't want to go too, because like where I live, it's kind of like near where I live to a certain extent, but it's not like too near where I live. And I didn't want to go like too far away from home as well.
Yeah.
Because I
Where do you live, sorry?
I didn't want to like be too far away from home, because I don't drive either, because I haven't learned how to drive. I kind of can't because of Corona.
Oh,
so,
babe, don't you worry. I'm 20 years old. I haven't learned to drive yet either.
So I can't obviously drive like back and forth. So it's kind of like,
you won't want to take your car anyway. Trust me, you won't want to take a car anyway if you had one.
Well, I've heard parking is a pain.
And then you've got to pay for it as well, and you're going to be a student. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, and I just needed like a fresh start somewhere else where I can kind of be myself.
Babe, honestly, you can be whoever you want to be at uni. So many of my friends come into themselves for real. And the best thing about uni is you get to pick who your friends are. Like, you don't have to be with you because you're with them 5 times a week.
Agreed. It's just like, where I, like, obviously I go to college and that, like, don't get me wrong, I like college to a certain extent. Like, I've got 2 of my best mates from college and all that. But, like, I just can't, it's not like I can't be myself, because I can. But I just need to be somewhere new and, like, fresh.
A fresh start.
I just need a fresh start. Where no one knows, well, I know 2 people down there, but where no one knows me, and I can just fully be
the
myself.
Charlotte that you've always wanted to be.
Yep.
Love that.
That's the plan. Whether it actually goes to plan or not is a whole different story. But I just needed a fresh start somewhere else.
Yeah, agreed. I love that for you.
Like, so much just happened in like this like in my house and that, but like hopefully my mental state might be a bit better.
Oh babe, I'm hoping that as well when I move out. That's why exactly why I bought the summer house. I'm effing off. I'm out of this place. See you later, darling. I will not be coming back.
It's not even like the fact of I've got like a terrible home life, because I don't, but it's just like so much has happened.
You need to be an adult. You need to go live your life without, the pressures of family.
I say that as I nearly like blew up the house earlier.
Oh Christ! We'll forget about that. That's fine.
Apparently cans don't go in the microwave.
Oh God, no, darling! Don't be doing that. Crikey!
I don't know who done that. Nearly.
Wasn't you? No.
No, it wasn't actually. It was my my brother.
Your brother. You said that with confidence. We love that.
No, it was me. I was making spaghetti hoops with, like, the spaghetti hoops with like the mini sausages in them.
Oh yeah.
I was making those, and my mum quickly informed me that they don't go into them. You can't put the can in the microwave.
Oh God, yeah, well, thank God you quickly informed you.
And that's why people don't trust me moving away from home. What you would tell your teenage self, but I mean, I can't really tell my teenage self because I'm my teenage self.
I mean, I've only just come out of my teenage years as well, so...
They're like, what can you tell your teenage self? I'm still living my teenage years until next year, I think, kind of.
So am I. I'm 20, okay? 20.
20. I am 17. That's all I've got to say.
About to out myself right now.
Right.
But I was just having a big fat poo. So, apologies about that.
I mean...
Cheeky flush of the toilet there.
Oh. Anyways, swiftly moving. Oh, trying to get it together, hon. Get it together. Oh. Right, swiftly moving on. Yeah, like I said before, I can't really answer that question because I'm still a teenager. I've already answered that question because someone said, what are you going to do at uni? Oh, I haven't answered that. I'm doing special educational needs and inclusions. That is what I shall be studying at uni.
Fancy.
Look at me go. I just asked, do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
I do indeed. RuPaul's Drag Race is my life. I love
can't remember. Well, I'm going to see what season. I started watching it. I haven't
it.
finished.
If you've watched the American one, you'll love the British one so much better. It's so much better the British one.
I haven't. I'm watching whatever one's on Netflix.
Yeah, if
the
you go on
American
BBC,
one?
the British one's on there. It's so good. Watch that one. It's so good.
Right, I think Netflix done me dirty because I think when I started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, they only had season 8 available. And then they put season 1. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I'm on like season 8 episode something, but I can't tell you. Season 8 episode 9 is what I'm on, to be precise. But yes, I have watched RuPaul's Drag Race.
Love it. It's so good.
I agree with that. What's your favourite... Someone asked what music do you like listening to, or your favourite songs at the moment, etc.
I love pop. I love all the genres, really. I love jump bass. Get me to a rave, I'm there. I love Sam Smith. He's Day are my husband. We've got Adele. Love Adele. Love Ariana Grande.
We have quite similar music taste, to be fair.
Yeah, I love a good shower song. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can all sing to them in the shower.
I saw Sam Smith at Capitol Jingle Bell Ball 2019.
Oh my god!
And when I tell you, I nearly cried. I nearly cried.
I would have bloody cried.
I nearly cried. I held it together, but I was nearly going. But I don't think I ever fangirled so hard in my life.
Oh my god, I was like that when I saw Beyonce.
I'm sitting there like, and my friend's like, Charlotte, calm down. I'm like, no, I'm having fun. I'm sitting like nearly crying. But I miss that. How else do I like Adele. My mum, I pretty much grew up on Adele, if I'm being honest, because my mum used to listen to it on the way to school, because she used to have all the she still does. She has all the CDs of it, and we play them in the car. But nearly all the songs I know all the words off of because of my mum.
I love Adele with a passion.
What other songs have I been? I've been listening to that one that's like, you know, the one who sang like Fix It to Break It, but he done one about like chicken. It's called like chicken tendies or something like that. It's quite a good sad song, if I'm being honest.
Oh really? I'll give it a listen.
It's quite. I'll send over. I can't remember what it's called. Well, I do remember what it's called, but I can't remember for sure. But it's quite a good. It's quite a good sad song. If that's what you're into. I had a phase of liking Someone New by Hosier. That was a weird phase. That was after my breakup, to be fair. I think I'm having more of an identity crisis, if I'm being honest. That's about like, I like more of the old songs. Hi, moving on. I'm trying to find the next one. Next question would be great. I got my little Notion things up, but it went, and then it went onto notonthehighstreet.com.
What's the time? Oh my god. How is it? That has flown by.
I've just clocked on about what time it is. How the hell is it that time already? Oh my god, my eyelash is going into my eye. I like how one of the questions was, how do you keep so happy?
Me?
How do you? That's a bit deep. How do you keep so happy? do stuff that you want to do.
You gotta just cut the stuff out and do things for you. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, be there for other people.
If they're toxic, bye. If they
do stuff for yourself, you know.
Sometimes you have to put yourself first, even if it seems selfish. And if you're a YouTuber and stuff, just make content that you enjoy. Because if you enjoy it, it's going to come across and the audience will then enjoy it. And then it's kind of a win-win situation.
You've got to just do things that make you happy. Do everything that gives you the positive energy, you know. If you're doing stuff that gives you negative energy, and you're doing it just to make other people happy, then cut it out, man. Like, you just got to do stuff for yourself. You're in it for yourself. This life is for you. Your life is for you. You've got to do you. And yeah, I know when people are like, oh, but that's so like cringe. That's so like, you know,
that's so cliche.
Stereotypically cliche, but it's true. Like,
it's
if you just simplify the principle of, you know, doing stuff to make you happy, you just have to do that. Otherwise, it's just common sense. You know what I mean?
Or sometimes you have to like weigh out whether you're doing it because you want to do it and it's going to make you happier, or you're doing it because other people want you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times that, I'm not going to lie to you, there's so many times I've done certain life choices and, or like looked back and gone like, Charlotte Hunt, why did you do that? Like, there's no need. Like, you was happy before that, so why did you do it? But you learn from it. If you make mistakes, it's fine, you just learn. And then it makes you into a better person in the long run. So, is there any trends that you don't like on TikTok at the moment?
Not really, no.
No, I can't think of any.
I can't think of any. No. I don't really keep up with the trends, to be fair.
I don't think it really came off my For You page. It's really like, it's been a trend. I'm like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, actually, to be fair. So I don't
think trends that I like, though, I definitely hop onto them.
I do the same. If I like it, then I'll do it. But if I don't like it, I'm like, bye-bye.
If they're cringy, I just won't even bother.
What's your favourite thing to do in lockdown? I mean, they all seem the same. Like, lockdown's lockdown. I don't think we've ever had 3 separate ones. They just rolled into one. Just keep busy, to be fair. That's all I've been doing. I don't know about Jack.
What's that? Sorry, what was the question?
It was, what's your favourite thing to do in lockdown, or what are your tips for being in lockdown at the moment?
I think starting projects, getting things done around the house. Obviously, I've been kept busy with TikTok. Learn something new, learn a language, learn anything. Utilise your time. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got this time now. Everything's been put on pause. It's a positive. What's the thing?
It's a benefit of the doubt.
A blessing in disguise.
That's the thing.
It's a blessing in disguise, this lockdown, because it put a pause on everything. It's made life a lot more simpler, and life can be very complicated. It does have down bits of it, obviously, but I think people should focus on themselves. You know, have a conversation with yourself. Literally, like, talk to yourself.
If you've been thinking of doing something for a while, whether that's, I don't know, for example, I know this is all very social media based and generic, but like, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just do it. If you want to start posting TikToks, do it. If you want to start, I don't know, your own small business, do it. If you want to, whatever you want to do, just do it.
If anything that you've always wanted to do, you can achieve it. Anyone can achieve the impossible. Like, impossible doesn't exist. Like,
in this moment in time as well, like, majority, I know some people have been furloughed and that, so you have more time to be able to do things and like get things done. So it's more about using your time wisely, using it for the greater good, and I think that's pretty, like.
Have you watched Hot Fuzz?
Watch what?
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz? No.
You won't get the reference because they all go greater good.
Oh.
It's basically about a village that murders everyone.
Oh, lovely.
For the greater good.
Right. I like how someone just went, why have you disappeared from social media for the past 5 days? I took a break. That's where I've been. Sometimes you
time for yourself.
do it. I'm currently still kind of on my. I say I'm on a break. I've just been trying to take things easier and slower, and not worry about posting on Instagram and posting on my story every single day, or posting on TikTok every single day.
What?
Why is one of these questions is how tall are you both?
I'm 6'1".
I'm 5'3".
Oh my god, you're short.
I'm so short. We've answered that one already. Do you have a type?
If I vibe with them, that's my type. If I vibe with you,
I'm more of a see. Right, I had this debate before. I don't think I have a specific like a certain type, because for me it's more about the personality than what you look like.
Agree.
I'm more of a personality type of girl. I don't really like. Obviously, I've got to find you attractive, but like it's more of a personality level than anything. That's the best way to put it. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have an older brother. What about you?
I've got an older brother. Yeah.
I have an older brother.
I've got an older brother, but I'm one of 4 boys.
My brother's my half brother technically, but we just class each other as brother and sister.
You what? Sorry.
So my brother's my half brother technically, but we just class each other as brother and sister. We don't worry about the half bit.
Oh yeah, no, I've got 2 half brothers, and I don't even see the half as an issue. You know, I mean, I've grown up with them in my house. The half means nothing.
I don't really get the half bit at the beginning of it, to be honest. So I'm just like, see you later. We don't need you. We don't need the half. Have you had a disagreement with anyone that's been on social media that you've kept hidden?
Maybe.
I feel like they're more trying to expose you than me, because I don't think I have.
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Guess we'll never know.
There's been a situation that's, someone just went, who else is coming on the podcast? Wait and see.
Wait and see, motherfucker.
Wait and see. We've answered that one. Someone said, how long have you and Jack known each other? We've answered that. Some of these questions are. One of them is, do you think you and Jack will meet up after Corona's over?
Oh, for definite.
Of course we will. I think that's a bit of a stupid question. Of course we're gonna. Obviously, once the world's a better place and we can actually meet up with people, Jack's gonna be the first on my list.
Lucky me.
That's if you haven't wanted to get rid of me yet, you know. Someone is you and Jack's humour very, very samey. Huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
Someone went you. Someone just went, you don't act like a 17-year-old.
You don't act like a 17-year-old?
Apparently I don't.
To be fair, you could have passed a different age.
I probably could have. I don't know what age.
If you didn't tell me your age, I would have probably said, put you around my age.
I think it's because I'm quite, to a certain extent, I think I'm quite mature for my age. So, like, I'm very kind of, I don't know what I want in life, but, like, because I'm kind of had to do, like, for example, because I'm, like, type 1 diabetic and that, I've had to deal with that from a young age. So I've kind of had to be more independent than most people my age. So I'm just kind of used to being quite independent and, like, discipline myself to a certain extent.
That's so good, though.
It's like a blessing, to be fair.
In disguise.
How long did it take for you to film a TikTok?
It can take me up to 20 minutes or 40 minutes or sometimes an hour, because sometimes, what I realise is when I do my TikToks, I talk so fast, because I'm trying to cram it all into 1 minute, so Sometimes I have to redo it and go back and redo what I'm saying a bit slower because you can't understand it. It's the same when I'm filming a YouTube video. It's like, oh, for God's sake, I'm talking too fast and people don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But probably, I would say probably to average it out, maybe half an hour, but it could take me 2 minutes. It could literally take me 5 minutes.
I don't think it might take me that long. It depends on what because I do very like different types of TikTok, so it depends on the type of TikTok it is. If it's like the one where I look like a mess and then I have like a glow up, that normally takes around 2 days, but it's only because I film it on 2 separate days. But when actually filming it only takes me like 10 minutes for each section. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like if it's like the ones where I do all the fancy little transition things on it, that takes me like half an hour. Well, 20 minutes. It literally depends on the type of TikTok for me. I can't really, but I would say like half an hour-ish. By the time like I'll find a sound and then try and get the idea and then try to like execute the idea. Was it? How long does it take for you to film a YouTube video? Depends on the type of video.
About an hour, 2 hours.
I can do mine quite quick, but it just depends on the type of video. Because if it's like a morning routine and that, then obviously it takes like the whole morning of it. But normally it takes, I think, about an hour, to be fair. By the time I filmed it all and shut up halfway through it and all that.
I use Canva.
What, is that for your thumbnails and that?
Yes, my thumbnails I use Canva.
I started using Canva. I normally used PicMonkey. But I've only just started using
Canva's
Canva.
so easy.
I use Canva for the podcast account. For the Instagram podcast account.
I make my thumbnails whilst my video is uploading to YouTube.
We do the same thing. Yeah, I do the same. Describe your friendship in one word. I don't know.
Pure.
Yeah, I'd say that. It's like I wouldn't say any of my friendships have ever been false, but we've kind of got along from like the get-go, like the first time we started talking.
Definitely.
At some point here, did you find it awkward reaching out to people to film the podcast? Yes.
Do you?
Uh-huh. I find it awkward, like, reaching out to people, being like, oh, do you want to be on it? Because, like, it's not the fact of, I'm sure the people are lovely in that, but I get very, like, anxious about things. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna, not like everyone's like the whole thing about the bigger and small creator situations, like, oh, they're gonna look down on me because I'm a smaller creator. Or are they just gonna think, oh, actually, this could be a good idea? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very like that.
For sure.
If you was on a desert island, what would you bring?
I'd bring my phone, I'd bring water, and I'd bring my dog.
I'd bring my phone because I use that every single day. I'll bring my guinea pig. Well, my guinea pigs, actually, I've got 2. And water.
Oh, I bloody enjoyed that, Charlotte. I'm not going to lie to you. That was fun.
You're the second person. Jake said it was fun, and I was like, are you just saying that because you're my friend?
No, I enjoyed that. That was good. You should be proud of that. That's really good.
Oh, thank you. That is it for today's episode with Jack. Thank you once again, Jack, for hopping on.
My absolute pleasure.
And I'm sure there's going to be more videos in the future of Jack. I don't think it's going to be the last we've seen of him.
Definitely.
And Jack's social medias will be down in the description, as well as the podcast Instagram account. But make sure you follow it, because I use that quite a lot to get you all guys involved into the podcast episode as well. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for another episode.